Games, board games. I might be talking about board games, but I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing, and today I'll talk about my plans for July. There's lots of demands. I've got Tabletop Scotland and Bez Day coming up. I'm going to launch a Kickstarter and try to um, redub my shop and stuff and board games. Board games is what I'm talking about. Board games, I'm not gonna shout. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. I am Bez. It's time for Bezzy Beats and Board Game Blether. I do apologise. Quickly, sorts out my plug so that the electricity is coursing into the laptop. It's like, boom, the electricity. Can you feel it? I mean, you probably can't. I would be pretty worried if you could. But yes, there is now electricity coming through, so I won't turn off. Hello, Ian. It is lovely to see you, and thank you for following. I kind of assumed that you were already following, but indeed, you are 100% brilliant, as the little message said. Anyway, Busy Beats and Board Game Bledder, 10 a.m. UK. That's what happens. Today, I'm talking about my July plans, the ELL deck contest, which everyone should enter. Genuinely, I mean, there's a design contest, and I've not done half as much. I've not done a quarter as much promotion for it as I'd like, but if you know the ELL deck, 2 letters on each card. If you've got any ideas for a design, just get it in, and we will play it as long as you can get the rules that can be played. So all you need to do is have an idea, write down the rules. Honestly, you don't even need to play test it. And I mean, hopefully you do have time, but if you don't, that's also okay. Ponder it, play it in your mind, think about it a wee bit. If it's a solo game, then you can try it. If it's something with friends, maybe you can try it, maybe you can't. Like, I understand, stuff happens. But, and let me get rid of that wee Kickstarter link since you can't click the thing. But, yeah, the typography contest, which is so that if you are interested in the ELL deck and you like drawing letters, but you can't make a game, or you don't feel able to make a game, do that. Honestly, I think everyone should do both. But I'm incredibly biased, and of course I'm going to encourage you to do that. And yeah, I took a break from making new games, but I'm going to definitely make some new games. At least finish one game, maybe start some new games, but I might continue trying to focus on just finishing stuff. I'm going to try and finish one thing for Tabletop Scotland, which I'll get into, and also continue with my work with Matthew Dunstan and hopefully Alan Paul, as well as personal stuff. I'm launching a Kickstarter. I'm going to upgrade my shop, and I'll be talking all about that. But yeah, that is what will happen. Ian says, I unfollowed you just to follow you again. Fair enough. And if you want to unfollow me again, then you'll probably get a different message. So yeah, I set it up so that there's like 5 or 6 random messages, and each time you get one of them. But yes, I hope you have a lovely day. Anyway, recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. Yesterday, I was on foot when you last saw me streaming, so I was clearly on my way somewhere. I was on my way to the company known as Fuse. Fuse makes mainly toys. They are releasing their first card game. It's not out yet, but I got a preview copy. It's basically cards slot into a little plant pot and they emerge into a cactus. It's a stacking game like Rhino Hero. It uses the cards plus a certain amount of modifications. In this sense, it's got a special die cut which gives little slots, so the cactus grows and grows, and it's a lovely little simple thing. And that's the kind of mass market games are making. They also gave me a couple of samples that they had from Hasbro, to say, hey, these are the kinds of things that we're interested in. And I mentioned that I'd played almost everything that I saw except for 2 of the games. So they gave me one of them, and also another thing that they said, yeah, this is good, you might be interested in this. But so so it was really interesting getting to see a little bit about the inner workings of a toy company. I've never worked full time for a board game company, or let alone a toy company. The closest I've come is when I was helping develop stuff for Alley Cat Games 1 or 2 days a week. And that was really nice. It was a lot of fun. And I would love to do, when I went to the toy company, it was like, okay, we've got this little 3D printing cabinet. And in the 3D printing cabinet, there were literally about, I want to say, 12 different 3D printers all working on stuff at the same time, because they're working on, okay, let's make this toy and that toy and that toy. And, oh, what would it look like if this was, oh no, this is a little bit too thick. Let's reduce it by a few millimeters. And it feels like AutoCAD and all that 3D modeling is a big element of the work, and then the spray painting and the video production and yeah, the teamwork. It felt like a really nice feeling of energy. That was really good. And also yesterday I met up with parents and yeah, then came back here and had a delivery. I am going to start a potato diet. So 90% of my intake will be potatoes, approximately. Like yeah. So I'm going to focus on potatoes, just boiled potatoes, for see how I get on. And I've got 6 different types of potatoes. I got 6 bags of potatoes. Well, 8 bags of potatoes, but there's only 6 different kinds. Anyway, so yeah, I'm glad that all sounds interesting. Thank you very much. And what are your recent highlights? Feel free to let me know. Otherwise, let's talk about a brilliant thing. Brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? Planning. Plans. That's a brilliant thing. I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to make a plan and then be stuck to it. It's not like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do exactly this, and if it doesn't turn out, no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like a vague, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk over to that hill. I'm going to get up to the top of that hill. So if you don't manage to make it up, today, then okay, maybe you never go up there, but it's an aim, it's a goal. It's something that you want to do. The plan, it's not about saying this has to happen. It's like a goal, something that you want to happen. And I've got personal goals as well, like doing more exercise. I'm going to, I almost feel like I should have made this more of a personal thing. But there's just so much happening for me business-wise. Like personally, I would like to start getting out more, doing more walking. And I'm going to sign up to the dancing. I'm going to, play a few games. I'm going to have some people over. I'm actually playing at Now Play This. We've got, and things to look forward to, things to get you excited. It gets you going. It gives you a sense of direction. And yeah, I think that plans are just brilliant. So yeah, what do you think? Plans are for people who think that they have control of their lives. Says Ian, I don't know. I mean, like I say, plans don't mean if this doesn't happen, I'm incredibly upset. I'm planning to go out tonight to play some games. I'm planning to take Mega City Oceania and Ladies' Choice, and hopefully it happens. I mean, you've got to make plans. I think without plans, it excites you, gives you something to do, and yeah, sure, stuff happens, but that's okay. Anyway, as always, thank you for the comments. Feel free to ask questions and do the whole thumb like follow thing. And yeah, I'm aware of that, Ian. You lovely human. uh, anyway, so let's crack on and let me get up some very quick banners, and let's start off with the L deck contest. Yeah, L deck contest, contest, contest. It might not be the best because being the best is a very high bar, a bit too far. So yes, LDEC contest. I want to talk about this. This is the annual contest which I have done every single year since the LDEC was released in 2017. I got some ideas from people saying, "Oh, how about this game? Oh, how about this game? How about that game?" And I decided to make an official contest out of it. I decided there was going to be an annual contest finishing on the 1st of August. Best day, 1st of August. It's like technically the closing date is midnight, like the end of 31st of July. So, or you could, if it's like 1 minute past midnight on the 1st of August, yeah, that's fine. But anyway, the LDEC contest, the first year, 2018, I had quite a few submissions from people who'd just happened to give me games along the way, and I pondered them all. And the winner, within a month or so, actually, by the end of Tabletop Scotland, I decided that the winner was going to be Categorical. The second winner, 2019, the winner was Unfinishable by Paul Mansfield, I want to say. 2020, the winners were Xate and Alex Cannon, who co-designed Bidabel, and they were showing it off at Alex was showing it off at the UK Games Expo just a couple of months ago, and in last year, 2021, the winner was Dwindle, a one-player solo game which I love because it's super epic, and the epic mode, like the starter, the standard mode is like maybe 10 or 20 minutes, and then the tricky mode is like 30, 40 minutes, and then the epic mode is like 60 minutes kind of thing, like 60 to 90 minutes. It is really epic. You've got to make all these words too, and then the letters get trickier, and then when you use the trickiest letters, they go out. And so congratulations to all those people: Tom Cauldron, Paul Mansfield, Xate, Alex Cannon, and Joseph Kelly. And I hope that people do join in this year for the LDEC design contest. And says, "Who told you I was human?" Yeah, I didn't realize that was meant to be a secret. Anyway, so if you want to join the LDEC design contest, then please do go to stuffbybez.com/contest, and that will redirect you to the design contest, which you can see on my screen. There is also an art contest, which I will get into a little bit later. Honestly, Ian, if you wrote rules for this, bloody hell, throw cards at your opponents in alphabetical order trying to draw blood. I mean, it needs a little bit sort of. If I was to rate this right now, okay, I'm just going to go ahead. I know this is tongue in cheek, but I am going to go ahead and rate this game right now. Okay, well, my issues with how do you get your cards? That's my first question. Does only one person have the entire deck? Are you grabbing cards from the middle? Because if you're grabbing cards from the middle, that means that you need to there's only going to be one of certain cards or two of others. So does that mean that once one person manages to get to the J, no one else is able to continue? Or does that mean that once all the J's gone, then anyone else can go to the L, for example, once the J and the K have gone? Or does it mean that you've got to do all the A cards before you do all the B cards and so forth? Which would mean that there's, the cards run out about once you get to T, like, because then all the cards will have been used. And I will also say that throwing cards is a really difficult skill. I think that drawing blood, you know, I did actually, at the start of Grapple, true story, my original rules were just throw the cards in the air, and that's how you start the game, and then you start picking them up. And then I tried that a few times, and then it was like, yeah, this is really hard to do. You throw them in the air, you expect them to kind of go in a dramatic fashion. It doesn't quite work like that, which is why Grapple is actually just scattering them on the table. But yes, throwing cards is tricky. I think that the accessibility feels like it's low. My rules confusion is high, but honestly, if you wanted to line up the rules and we would I actually play this if it was a game that involved physical harm? In a serious, actually, I'm going to get serious for a moment. No, I wouldn't play that. I would probably, if it was actually about, if it was properly about, yeah, drawing bloods, I think that I would probably bar this. Like, I've never had to bar anything for content before, and I know that again, this is just a joke, and I love the joke, bloody hell. But yeah, if something was promoting physically harming other players or mentally harming other players, or if something was, honestly, I probably would be, if it was an adult game, I would think about it. Instinctively, I like the idea of there being an adult game if it has to be an adult game. And I would be able to find people to play that with. I don't have an issue with a game that's about sex or whatever, but obviously, if it requires you to do adult activities as part of the game, then I might struggle to find people to play it with. But yeah, sure, Ian, you've got that claim to fame. Your game was the first ever game that I barred from the contest. But yes, I believe that you've got to continue to invent a game. Seriously, just get the rules together. And whoops. Let's go through this form. So the top prize, you get consultation time. So I'm happy to give you like 12 hours of consultation time, helping you on your other games, or helping you, give you support, give you feedback on how to reach out to other people, and whatever help I can give. Or if, as part of that consultation time, you feel like, actually, I would really like Bez to playtest my stuff, yeah, 12 hours of my time, however you want it. Or, yeah, maybe I should just write 12 hours of my time, and that doesn't mean 12 hours of my best time. I'm not going to promise, like, 12 hours of illustration time, which I can only really do at certain points of the day, because that's when I've got the energy of it for it. But I will promise you 12 hours of, that's a mutually convenient thing. And if you really want me to draw a thing for you, that can be arranged. The winner always gets £100 cash. That's normally just done as a bank transfer. In the 1 year where we had two winners, both of them got the identical price, so they both got £100 cash. And you get a table to demo your submission at UK Games Expo 2024. So basically, 2023, Joseph Kelly is going to demonstrate it. If you are at UK Games Expo 2024, which gives me time to arrange stuff, then that means that we can discuss how much space you would want, like give you a table for the entire weekend if you would like it, and I will try to get my helpers to direct people over, so that if someone's coming over and they play my games, then they will go over to play your game. And that's a really nice way to learn what it's like, especially if you've not demonstrated your own game before. I think it's a really nice thing to do. And I should say, Oh yeah, and there's also a package of games, which will be a large package of games. Um, by entering, I do basically whatever I want. Legally, I could do whatever I want, but I just want to state that up front. I will rewrite the rules. I will share it with other people. Unless you ask me not to, critique it publicly. And I do my best to be respectful and keep you involved, but it will get changed. And that's the key thing. Once you submit it, I am going to change it. I will try to make it the best version of itself. And the only requirement is that a game should be playable from the rules you write. So I should understand how to play it. If I have to make assumptions, I will make my best assumption. But if I have to make loads of assumptions and I make the wrong assumption, then that's on you. So if something is critical to the game, then please put it into the rules. Normally, the way we and finally the games get judged on the experience. How fun is it? Accessibility. Are people able to play it? And differentiation. Is it different to the other existing ELL deck games? So in early August, I'll get people over and do some extended live streams in which we playtest every submission. That's what I've done. I started that practice in 2020, and 2021 I continued, and I think it's a nice thing to say, yeah, let's get together, let's play these games. If I need to get a big group for this game, then I'll get a big group. If it's just a solo game, then I'll play it on my own. If it's something where we need 2 or 3 players, it will be Chris and Layla once again. And all the games will be anonymized so that it will say, I won't say who made it until your game has been eliminated from the contest. So I will try to celebrate all the people, but everything will be anonymized to make it a little bit more fair. And then I will play it as often as I can. I should probably change physically possible just to possible. As often as, yeah, I'm just going to change that word, because physically possible sounds like that's literally the only thing that I'm doing. There we go. So yes, at that point, I want to select the top 5 to be able to confidently select a winner. Everyone in the top 5 gets consultation time and a package of games. The designers of the best game get £100 cash, and if it's just one game, then they have to split it amongst the co-designers. The reason that Xate and Alex Cannon were the special case is that there were 2 games that I just could not decide between. And ideally, whatever the top game is, I would like to make it the next core game, to make it a future standalone deck with custom art, and you would get 10% of sales price. But remember that I'm not a super successful self-publisher, but if you believe in me, then I promise that I will offer what I can. Like Tom Cauldron, I think already got a wee bit based on the Kickstarter money, but hopefully we'll get more. Yep, as it says, just fill out the form. You can enter even if you haven't played your game, although it might be less likely to win. If you've worked out something that's fun, but your card aren't totally clear on some of the details, that's okay. Don't worry about the exact numbers of, okay, should there be 5 cards in the hand or maybe 7? Like, give me a starting point. Give me what you think, but mention, oh, maybe this should be slightly more. You can put all that in the comments. If you can't decide which games you want to enter, if you've got loads of ideas, submit 3 things. That's fine. And if you're working with other people, then if all your games are with someone else, then you can submit 6 things. If you're working with 3 people, you can submit 12 things. So yeah, there's no theoretical limit to the number of submissions that a single person can co-design. Yep, and we talked about, is it fun? Is it different? Is it accessible? And again, inaccessibility is okay. Like if it's a real-time game, that's inaccessible to people who aren't able to do stuff real-time, but it's all about getting rid of the inaccessibilities that don't matter. So if your name would be how I credit you, the email is how I keep in touch. The designers' names would be how I credit, like, yeah, the other people. Suggested preferred name. Obviously, if you aren't aware, the name should always end in ELL. It should be misspelled, and it should be a single word, ideally. How much has the game been tested? Yeah, that's okay. Like whether it's loads or not at all. And sets in stone, that gives them an idea of what you feel like. If it's completely finished and nothing should be changed at all, that tells me that, okay, this person isn't open to any changes, so maybe try to respect that. If the game requires other stuff, then it's not ideal, but that's okay. Like, definitely needing additional stuff or scoring or needing potentially another whole set of components, that might be okay. But it, if two games are of the same quality and differentiation, obviously this does affect the accessibility. But it's, are people likely to have this? For example, if you needed a game where you needed a bit of fabric and you could literally play with the shirts off your back, well, then that's a lot more accessible if people are willing to take off their shirts than a game where you need 26-sided dice, because people are less likely to have 26-sided dice. I mean, I do, but not everyone does. Then obviously summarize it if you want. The important thing is tell me what the player count and what the ideal player count is, the length of the game. Summarize it if you want. Give me the full rules. This is the most important thing. I need to be able to play it based on the full rules. If you've got a rules video, then that helps, but you don't need it. And ideally, everyone should say, give me feedback publicly. Give me feedback privately. It is a pain in the arse, but I will try to do it if I can. And I will try and, again, I will not credit you until the games are eliminated from competition, because the game design has to be judged by a lot of people, and I will make it all anonymous because some of the judges will know some of the people. Maybe they know you from the stream, maybe they know you because they've met you at a convention, whatever. But once it's like, okay, thank you very much for this person, they made this, and this is a great game. And I'm going to actually try and go back, because as you can see, I've had 59 people, well, not 59 people, I should clarify, maybe like 40 people making games, because some people did multiple for the deck, which is amazing. I do want to go back and shout out to people, and any links or for shout outs, and yeah, just saying thank you so much to these people. I want to credit them even in future years. And yes, it would be amazing to have you make an ELL deck. And if you're watching this and you don't already have an ELL deck, get in touch via Twitter or email or Facebook or whatever, and I will send you a low quality print and play file, which by low quality I mean it's Comic Sans, so it's not the typography that you want, but functionally it's all there, and it gives you an idea of what you can do with the deck. So if you don't know the deck, then 2 letters, 6 suits on each card. There's 26 possible letters, of course. 6 suits, and yeah, you'll be able to find out the distribution and everything. So as well as that contest, there's also the typography contest. This started last year, and I would love to have more people join it this year. So all you have to do is have the letters T, H, E, L, D, C, and K. I do mention that it has to be family friendly. The other one doesn't have to be family friendly, because I've had so many ELL deck games that if you feel the need to make an adult one, then go ahead. But this one, if you want to make like adult situations that represent the letters, that's great, but you can't enter the contest with it, not yet. I mean, maybe 10 years down the line, I don't know. But for now, it has to be family friendly. And last year we had, it doesn't really even have to be a theme. Like, someone had just like, or someone came up with different textures. Someone came up with, like, they had different fruits going on and used them as silhouettes. Someone came up with different drawings of cats, which was fantastic. And then the winner was with a lot of pictures of mushrooms, which was just fantastic and gorgeous. I should have actually brought that up right now, and I'll do it on a future video. But yeah, you can enter 5 entries per person per year, which is a lot. I mean, I can't imagine anyone wanting to do more than that. I think someone did like 2 entries last year, and again, it will be me and Layla and Chris looking at them, and we'll try and decide that over the course of maybe 3 weeks. So by the end of August. By the end of August, I'll try and finish it, because there's not a lot to ponder. I mean, it's not like we need to play the games and work out what comes off. Like, yeah, we need to look at it and we need to spend time looking at it, but we can sort of do that on our own. And just like the design contest, the winner get the top art design gets £100 cash, consultation time, package of games, and yeah, you can come to UK Games Expo 2023. And I'm just kind of putting this, assuming it happens, because yeah, there might be another pandemic. So yeah, and I will only show your images with credit outside of the stream. I should actually say, and the images will be shown on one stream without credit to facilitate judging without bias. Yeah, that's, yeah, just one single stream. I think that's okay. But then shown on around with credit. Actually, I don't think they need to be shown without credit, because the only important thing is that Layla and Chris don't. Yeah, so the only important thing is that Layla and Chris don't know whose is whose. So I will. Yeah. Actually, the images maybe after winners are chosen. Okay, we'll do that. Sorry for that live thing. And yeah, so if you've got marker pens, if you've got pencils, if you've got whatever, just put together stuff and try to make some sort of typography. All you need to do is make 7 letters, remember. Now, that is, yeah, the ELL deck contest. If you have any questions about that, then please let me know. Otherwise, yeah, I hope that and my own questions for me were, what are my hopes? I hope that people have fun with it. I hope that it reminds people of the ELL deck. And the sad thing right now is that the ELL deck is unavailable to purchase. I just hope that if I can get 5 entries, that would be amazing. Honestly, I would be so chuffed if I can get 5 entries, and I will ask people. I've been told that I can't put it in the art and design place, and but yeah, I would love honest, and remember, please just share your thing. It would be great to see what you've got, and with the typography, it might be as much about just sharing the joy of writing letters. It doesn't need to be the best drawn thing, because if you look at the reason that we thought how a winner is chosen, sure, there is visual appeal, but there's also legibility. Like, does it clearly look like does the C clearly look like a C and not a G? And the theme, like, what distinguishes it? And yeah, what differentiates it? It's kind of differentiation. And so yeah, it's not just about having nice looking letters, it's also about, okay, is this like something chosen from like Roman stuff? Is it like all, I was going to say dripping with blood, but then that's not family friendly. Is it covered in flowers? Is it all a rainbow color? That could be cool. Like, honestly, like, go with a rainbow thing. Just do a collage with stuff and put it together. Arrange your socks. That would be cool. Do all sorts of things. Have a bit of a laugh with it. So, carrying on, the next thing I wanted to talk about was new games. New games, new games. Will I tell you the names? New games, new games. No, because the names are long. And hello, Matthew. I hope that you are generally very well. And yes, I actually mentioned you very briefly because I'm aware that next month, as in 2 days' time, I'm going to try and start finishing off stuff. And yeah, I hope that you're well. What are you up to? What is going on in your life? I am pondering new games for Tabletop Scotland, and I'm going to see if I can. Yep, I can show this without any sorts of what's the GDPR breach of privacy, I guess. So, I have been thinking about which game to make for Tabletop Scotland, and Matthew says, I am well, just booked my flights to Australia. Wow, are you moving there permanently from? So, yeah, I think it's public knowledge. It's not doxing anyone. I mean, when you name a country, like, you live in Czechoslovakia right now, and yeah, I didn't realize that you were moving back to Australia. Wow. And I hope that everything is okay, but enjoy your Tim Tams, I guess. And I am generally well. I'm excited for life. And let me close this chat window. How can I close all chats? There we go. So for Tabletop Scotland, we've got 16 votes. And oh, this feels pretty conclusive. I'm glad that I asked people. So I was choosing between 3 games for Tabletop Scotland. Either a game about making poems that rhyme, which is arguably less of a game and more of a tool for creativity. A game about speedily selecting 7 cards and hoping for synergy, which, if I make this, it's definitely not going to be the final version. It's very much going to be just the first edition, and I might even put like version 0.5 or something on the box. But I was telling David Brain that it's kind of already at the point where I'm like, yeah, this is as good as I can make it, unless I playtest it another like 50 times. We're already kind of playing at the margins. Or a game about judging that was meant to be which object best matches freeze criteria after everyone quickly grabs and then does a short pitch. So it turns out, I mean, it's only been up there for an hour, and already people are saying they want to play a game about speedily selecting 7 cards and hoping for energy. Brilliant. Well, this was inspired by Fantasy Realms. If you know it, a game where you're choosing either one of the discarded cards or one of the cards from the deck, the top card from the deck. You've got to hand and then draw one, discard one. Draw one, discard one. That's your entire turn. For me, I like that game. I like I've got this card, and this card changes my entire strategy. This card means that I've got to get things in a sequence. This card means that I want to get cards that match this sort of area. This card means I want these other things. And so, yeah, whoops, I need to change new games. Sorry for the banner. So yeah, a game about speedily selecting 7 cards and hoping for synergies. It's got a real-time drafting mechanism, which is vaguely inspired by Kawaii, published by Helvetic, except that it's more real-time. So flip over cards first to grab, and then you can only grab 3 times, which I also learned was also a game by Knizia that does something similar, but, you know, it's okay. I mean, you can't just say, oh, Knizia already did it. You know, I'll do it in my own way. It's all good. Anyway, so you've got Hungry Horatio, who wants lots of food. And then you've got the baker, who will add more food as long as they've got flour. And then someone who wants creatures with eyes. And then you've got 7 pairs of trousers, or, oh no, 7 shoes, which is good if you've got a total of 7 legs, 7 feet, sorry. But if you've got more than 7 feet, then you get 0 points because they all argue about the shoes. Otherwise, it's like 1 point per foot, up to a maximum of 7. And if you've got more than 7, then you get nothing. And there's definitely some balancing to do, but I'm really happy for this poll, and so it gives me a strong sense of what I'm doing. Matthew says, moving permanently from November, Czech Republic to Australia, all is good. I just wanted to spend more time with family. And yeah, lots of love, and thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Virtual hugs to you. And I hope that I will still maybe see you at UK Games Expo 2024, or Essen if we're both there, or yeah, I don't know. Cannes if you're there, and I'll try to be there. But lots of love, and have a wonderful day. Ian says, Tim Tams. I've never tried a Tim Tam. I mean, I hear that are not that good, but, you know, I don't know. Like, maybe they're really good anyway. And thank you for voting. I'm curious now, Ian, which one did you vote for? But, yeah, so this is the game. It's not really a new game, but it is going to be the game that I promised to finish in time for Tabletop Scotland 2022. And more than that, I promise Chris that I'll finish it with more than 2 weeks to go. So Chris will get more than 1 day to do all the arts and to do all the graphic design work for it. Oh, poor Chris. I kind of feel bad for them. But yes, there will be some artwork to do for that. And yeah, I'll try and finish it by the end of the month, I guess, which gives us almost a month to, yeah, do the stuff. Anyway, oh, I need to pay money for, oh, that just reminds me, I need to pay Rob money. Better Than Penguins. Third option was my vote, apparently. And a game about judging which object best matches 3 criteria after everyone quickly grabs and does a short pitch. Yeah, I really like that one, because also you've got lots of objects. There's like, it's a game that makes everyone smile because it's just like 50 objects that everyone really likes. But Better Than Penguins, that's a strong thing. Anyway, new games. That was the next thing on the agenda. Then I've got 2 to 4 more things to talk about. So let's talk about the new Kickstarter. New Kickstarter. Please go to my Kickstarter and sign up. It would be amazing if we got 10 people to sign up by the end of today. And so please share, spread the word, click the notify me on launch button if you haven't already hit it. And yeah, this is exactly the same rules as a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after some mixed noises. But it's Cute Comical Creatures. I'm not sure if the title is the best title yet. Because, I mean, is it confusing it too much to say, hey, there's Cute Comical Creatures, and there's also the old version? Because my intention is that, yes, I will reprint them both, and people will be able to get add-ons for previous stuff if they want. But yeah, I feel like maybe my first Kickstarter, which was just, this is the thing, it's one thing. By having more focus, maybe it did better. But yeah, I would love to, I want to reprint it anyway. I would like to know how many to reprint, and hopefully have if I could get like 100 people to do this, then that would be great, because then I will print more than that, and I will have extra to sell at conventions. But it will mean that it really, if I manage to hit 50, I think then I will actually be able to properly make a profit straight off the bat. If I do 100, I'll be really happy. If I get 100 backers, if I get like 200 or more, it's like yay. If I get 500 or more, then I'll put it all into a box, and I'll be able to do an entire print run for more boxes, and I'll work out categorical and stuff into boxes, and that will be my focus for the rest of the month. But yeah, this is my new Kickstarter. Please do go and check it out and click the notify me on launch. And if you know anyone who would be interested in this game, then please do share it with them. If you can share the link on your personal Kickstarter page right now, would be amazing. If you're going to share it like 2 times, don't do it like when it launches and when it's about to finish. Do it right now, and also maybe remind people when it launches. But the thing I've learned about social media, especially on Twitter and also Facebook, people see things sometimes days after the fact. And so yeah, let's move on to the next thing, which is the new shop. New shop. So this is my shop as it currently is. We've got 5 items. I'm going to just try to make it look a wee bit nicer. That's what it's going to be all about. So currently, for example, you can buy Yogi or Yogi Guru. And you click on there and it's like, okay, you can buy Yogi or Yogi Guru, that's what you can buy. And really, if you wanted to buy Yogi, that should be its own thing. If you wanted to buy Yogi Guru, that should be its own thing. The reason for me putting the game about quickly grabbing creatures that are totally different and counting your turnips or beetroots or radishes or beetroots all in one thing is because I can only have 5 items. So then I use the variations to allow people to buy different variations. Now, if I upgrade my shop, I'll be paying £10 and I will get to have up to 50 things, at which point, yes, I'll put all my games. It will allow me to control the stock, which will make sure that I can then even put things that I've got 1 copy of, like a specific custom colored cards. I've got colored cards already, but imagine if it was like, you can buy this specific one so you can see exactly what it looks like. Or you can, ask for something, and if you want something, I don't tend to draw them on demand. I tend to draw a whole bunch and then send them out. So why not kind of make that more obvious and let people pick? Why not have a bunch of the original drawings? And I've got a bunch of hardback envelopes I bought myself. I want to say 100 A5 envelopes to send out art. So if you want some wee whimsical creature art, probably not yet because I'm going to colour it in, but if you want some turnip parts or some beetroot art or some whatever, then you'll be able to get that. Or if you want some cute comical creatures, that's something that I'll probably offer as well. And yeah, it'll I'll probably do some sort of small reduction, like a special discount code when it launches. But yeah, that's it. I mean, that's me. I don't see anyone getting super excited about that unless you're like, hey, I really wanted to buy all the new games that Bez has, and apparently Bez has like 7 new games that aren't on this shop, which is true. So, next thing, preparation for Tabletop Scotland. Well, preparation for Tabletop Scotland, I still don't have any volunteers confirmed, which is really not ideal. And, Tabletop Scotland, it's not the biggest convention. I mean, it's not even the biggest in the UK, but I definitely need at least one, hopefully like 2, maybe even 3 people. That would be really nice. Just being able to hang back to, yeah, watch other people do the demonstrations at 2 p.m. Like, I couldn't have done what I did at UK Games Expo without Jane and Josie and like just everyone being there and preparing the stickers and dealing out the cards, like doing a wee bit of admin, and when there's 2 tables, making sure that everyone knew the game and giving people a little bit of extra guidance. I mean, at Tabletop Scotland, I don't expect to have so many tables going on at once, but I do hope to have like 1 table for my stock and 2 tables for playing. And yeah, it would be nice. Sure, I could, in theory, get people playing and say, okay, give me a moment, But yeah, if you're on your own, you can't even take breaks. That's not good. So yeah, that's fundamentally what I need to do. Finish the game, which apparently it's going to be 62% of people say it should be a game about speedily selecting 7 cards and hoping for synergy, but also finding some helper. So I will try to work that out, hopefully in the next couple of days. And finally, we come to the 1st of August, which is, as you might know, Bez Day. This is something that's been mentioned on Board Game Geek thanks to Eric Martin, where I said, yeah, I want to start Bez Day. Like, this started when In a Bind was released on 1st of August 2015, then the ELL deck on 1st of August. Oh no, In a Bind Junior on 1st of August 2016, then the ELL deck 1st of August 2017. And then from then on, like 1st of August, like 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, not 2020 because there was a pandemic, but all of those days, like I was in leisure games, running a lot of events. I was doing stuff on the Tuesday. This year, what's going on? What is the 1st of August? So as it happens, the 1st of August is a Monday. I don't know anything going on the Monday, but I'm thinking if I can find a shop that's keen to help me celebrate, then great. I will go there with a preference to shops that are less tricky to go to. Otherwise, it'll be maybe a small evening event. Maybe I get people over. Maybe I'll focus on the online stuff, frankly, because when I did that in 2020, it worked okay. And maybe I'll try and have for 1st of August, here's a game that you can get for free. And I'll have something that is available for free if people don't have money. I'll have, probably a print and play game that doesn't require any cutting at all. One of the sheets are drawn together. I will have, like last year, I had Make a Word Search. I'll have the Dwindle rules. I'll get them a bit better written and it to say, this is it. These are the rules. It's nice picture inside, a picture of Joseph Kelly. But I think that it'll be sort of a, let's say I am going to sleep, so I'm not going to promise that I do nothing else. But yeah, there will be stuff going on and online. If you want me to draw a thing, then please let me know. Get me to draw a thing, I will draw a thing. I always do arts requests on the 1st of August. So you need to give your arts requests on the 1st of August and I will draw basically whatever you ask for. I'll spend a good chunk of the day just sitting and streaming and drawing. Yeah, it's already in my streaming schedule as best day. Yeah, that will be me just drawing and playing games. Maybe we'll play some games that you can play yourself. I know that Monday is not great for people, joining in generally, but yeah, maybe if you take the time, then it'll be nice. And if you're around, then it'll be nice to have you. I'll work out some fun things, and if you have, I'll try and ponder how to celebrate Best Day. But yeah, it might be mainly online this year. But that is me. That's my plans for the next month and a day. Obviously, Best Day, it's just over a month away. Yeah, still. But my question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. My question of the day is, which of these things that I've said excite you more? Are you excited by the ELL deck design contest? Are you excited by the notion of getting a game and making it and getting a lot of feedback? Are you excited by the typography contest, maybe submitting something yourself or seeing what's going on? By the new game, that's how I'll be finishing off for Tabletop Scotland. There's games to finish that I've not talked about. Or are you excited by the new Kickstarter for a game about cute comical creatures and trying to identify them after some mixed noises? Are you excited by the new shop where you will be able to buy original art? Or are you excited by Best Day? Which of these things excites you the most? That's my question of the day for you. And for myself, it's got to be the new game. It's got to be a game about speedily selecting 7 cards and hoping for synergy. Because sure, I'm excited to get this reprinted and people, but like, if people don't want it, then people don't want it. And if I don't get people signing up for it, then might not. Yeah, I'll be a bit down and sad, but hey ho. But whereas here, you know, it's a new thing to show off, and hopefully people at Tabletop Scotland will be excited for it, and I will probably only do the 50 copies, but we'll see how we get on. And yeah, beyond that, over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. What are you up to? I am personally going to have a start at some of the things I mentioned, give Chris a ring, and who has been at work for me today and will be working tomorrow. We'll chat about the shop and Kickstarter and stuff. And as I mentioned at the start, I'm going to have a game night. Game night is a little delight. Game night. So recap and wrap up before we finish up. Recap and wrap up. Well, yeah, Tabletop Scotland, design contest, typography contest, new shop, Kickstarter. Please do check out the Kickstarter. If I can ask you to do one thing for me, it is please definitely check out the Kickstarter. So beyond that, I'm excited for the next month. I have things to do, and also there's personal things to do, but that goes out with the remit of this stream. And at this point, just if you want to check me out, then I am Stuff by Bez in all the places. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. If you want to check out my Discord, then check out stuffbybez.com/Discord, which will redirect you to my Discord. And please check out my future streams. If you would like to be on one of my future streams, then let me know. Reach out. And Ian, whoever, let's have a chat. It would be lovely to have you. Share, spread the word. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And for now, lots of love. And bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye, everyone. Bye, bye. Bye, bye.